Hello there, Biakamuso desu and welcome to my review of Yakuza 0. So I decided to start my adventure on Yakuza because those games have a lot of memes around them, and my boyfriend had played the game before me and he really loved the experience, so I decided to try it for myself. So you have two protagonists in this game, which are Kazuma Kiryu and Majima. I forgot the other name of Majima. Goro Majima, yes, thank you. They are really interesting because they are really two different characters, and you can see that this adventure is basically to settle both their stories for what you will see of them in Yakuza Kiwami, the first game. You have Kiryu. Kiryu is working for the Yakuza under the influence, not because he wanted Kiryu to, but because Kiryu wanted to follow his footsteps under the influence of Kazama. So Kiryu, along with Nishiki, was at an orphanage and he really admired Kazama. And although Kazama didn't think that Yakuza life was the one for Kiryu, Kiryu wanted to follow his footsteps, so he joined the Yakuza. And while on one of his many tasks, he ends up involved in a murder accusation because he beat up a guy that ended up dead in a very important lot, the so-called empty lot. And this empty lot is really important because it costs a lot of money and it's in the way of a project that I think it's the revitalization project, something like that. I don't remember the name. But it's a really important lot because if the owner shows up and claims that lot, it's going to stop the whole project because nobody can buy that lot. Kiryu will try to clear his name throughout the story, and you will see him go back and forth this because he will leave the Yakuza because he knows that by being accused of murder, he is going to put a stain in Kazama's name, so he leaves the Yakuza because of this. But at the same time, by doing this, people are blaming totally Kazama, and you will see Kiryu going back and forth, trying to solve his situation, also trying not to bring trouble for the people that he loves, like Nishiki, Rena, and Kazama mostly. And at the end of the game, you will see him going back to being a Yakuza, which makes a lot of sense, right? And this whole game is just basically Kiryu being on the run. He's trying to find the real murderer, but at the same time he's always on the run because the Yakuza are on him, the police is also on him because of his murder accusation. It's just Kiryu beating the hell out of a lot of the guys just to try to run away. And then you have, because you intercalate the chapters between the two of them, you also have the story of Majima. So Majima is running a cabaret under the orders of Sagawa. And he is doing this because his Kyodai, so his brother, his Yakuza brother, they use the word Kyodai, so they are not real brothers, they are sworn brothers. I think that's the correct translation. He did a job where he killed 18, I don't know if they were Yakuza from another branch or family, and ended up in prison, and basically they are out of the Yakuza, but Majima is trying, by doing this favor for Sagawa, running the cabaret so he can earn a lot of money, he's trying to basically buy his place on the Yakuza family, so when his brother gets out of prison, can have his deserved place. I don't understand this, really. I never saw this brother through Yakuza 0. I don't know in which game I will see this Kyodai of Majima. And I think he's sacrificing a lot for nothing, because I will after talk about all the other characters that you are able to see through the story, but this isn't worth it. Majima, he will also get involved on the empty lot stuff because Sagawa at a certain point, because Sagawa is also the sworn brother of Shimano, the family that Majima is trying to get back into, and Sagawa demands that Majima kill someone, and the person that he wants killed is the owner of the empty lot. So basically, both adventures are connected. We have a lot of characters. We see Kiryu, we see Majima, then we see Nishiki. Nishiki is awesome because he's really supportive of Kiryu. He's always there, be it to make fun of him or really help him when he's in a tight spot. There's a moment that I really loved where, because Nishiki is really torn because he loves Kiryu, but at the same time he's still inside the Yakuza. So the Yakuza are all on top of Kiryu. They want him dead because he's being basically an eyesore for them, an obstacle. And Nishiki, at a certain point, tricks Kiryu into going for a drive with him, and he tries to kill him on the spot. And when he tries to do this, it's such a heavy emotional moment for the both of them, because Nishiki wants to kill him so he doesn't have to suffer running away everywhere or being hurt or tortured by the Yakuza, because the Yakuza are not known for being kind. They won't give him a quick death, they will torture him. And it was a really heavy moment and a really emotional moment. You have Rena. Rena doesn't do much. She's the owner of the Serena bar that they always go to. You can see that she has a special relationship with Nishiki, but Rena is really nice. You also have Kashiwagi, but Kashiwagi is just on the Kazama family office. He doesn't do much. You have Kazama, but Kazama is basically just a name on this game. You don't see him basically. And of course you have one of the best characters also in Kiryu's story, that is Tachibana. Tachibana is, I was a little bit suspicious of him at the beginning because he seemed too eager or too nice to be true, but he's really a wholesome and an awesome character. And once again, you have such a terrible moment when Tachibana is being tortured and ends up dying. It was such a difficult moment, and Kiryu just, he was distraught at that moment. It was really intense. And you have lots of characters. And of course we will talk about Kiryu's direct rival in this game, which is Kuze. I'm sorry if Magikarp is someone that sometimes appears at my streams. He always says Kuze best boy. No, Kuze isn't best boy. Kuze is a pain in the ass. Kuze is everywhere and he's a pain. Because he's not the character that I hate the most in this game, but he has this uptight position about being a Yakuza. He has honor to him, I will give him that, because he is an old school Yakuza and he has some honor, and you see that he's against Kiryu, that Kiryu annoys him, but at the same time Kuze also has some kind of fondness towards him. But either way, Kuze is still annoying, and doing all those bosses, goddamn Kuze, I couldn't take him anymore. About Majima, I feel like Majima doesn't have a lot of characters around him. So the main characters around him are Makoto, which is the owner of the empty lot, and he creates such a beautiful relationship with Makoto, which hurts even more at the end of the game, because he could at least made her know that he was in front of her, that he was there, and she could finally see who was the guy that helped her all the way. But no, he doesn't open his mouth, so yeah. But he has an amazing relationship with Makoto. He tries to kill her, he's not able to do it because he feels like he's missing information, and as he gets to know her, I think Makoto was probably some kind of crush or first love for Majima. And it was really interesting seeing him protect her and helping her. And the rival of Majima, well, he is not a rival. He is always helping Majima. But as I hate Kuze for Kiryu, I hate even more Sagawa for Majima, because Sagawa is a complete douchebag. There's nothing on that character that I can say I like. Because Kuze, I can somewhat respect him for his old school ways. Sagawa, he just kills everyone in cold blood. He doesn't care. He says that he treasures Majima, but he only uses the people around him. He's a complete douchebag. There's nothing I could say that could really save that character. The only thing I could say is kudos, because they were able to do a character that I really hate in this game. That's that's all the positive things that I can say about Sagawa. And you also have Nishitani. I'm actually kind of disappointed that Nishitani had such a small role, because I already have started playing Yakuza Kiwami, and you can see that a lot of Majima's personality is based on Nishitani, and he basically just encountered Nishitani on Yakuza 0 two times, and one of them is to end the character. But I guess I understand why, because Nishitani is a beta version for what Majima is. So you can see that he took a lot of inspiration from Nishitani. He also took a lot of inspiration from Sagawa, but let's not mention that. As for the game in itself, I really love the side quests. Doing the sub-stories is really addicting. I played this game on normal mode, and I think it's really accessible to do it on normal. And I must say, doing the sub-stories is really addicting. I tried to find all the sub-stories that I could, because the story in Yakuza is really heavy, because it's really emotional, full of somewhat complex concepts, but then you have the sub-stories to break that ice, because you have the emotional story and the sub-stories are a more relaxing way, so you can have a good laugh. I had really lots of fun with most of sub-stories. I finished the main story of the game, and I actually came back to Yakuza 0 more times than I expected to do all the sub-stories. I did Kiryu's real estate office up until the end, so I could unlock the Dragon of Dojima. I did the Cabaret Club all the way to the end also, so I could unlock the Mad Dog of Shimano. And I talked with all the hostesses. I really like to do the special training, spent lots of time trying to do the cabaret. I got really good at that. The real estate is really easy to do, and Kiryu just earns a lot of money, so that's also awesome. And really, just do all the sub-stories because they are all amazing. One thing that I didn't do though was the Mr. Beast, the Beast style, because that was kind of difficult and I had already finished the game, so I had no patience to do that. And the Pocket Circuit sub-stories. I'm sorry, I don't have the patience to be tweaking around with the car and trying to win the races. I didn't find that entertaining at all. Sorry. The karaoke, the erotic videos, the telephone club where you can get girls. I had lots of fun doing all of those because it's really fun and it's hilarious to see Kiryu's reactions. I really love the animation that they do where he picks up the phone in a really epic way and then he just answers mochi mochi. It's really something. I don't have much to say about the soundtrack of this game because uh, it's adequate. It keeps the ambiance. It has some really epic music though for the boss battles. It has really good music, and the karaoke. Everyone knows about Bakamitai because that's basically Kiryu's song, and the game overall is just amazing. I really recommend it. If you want a really good action, you really get the hang of the fighting. You have guard, you have different combinations for punches, hit actions. You also try to switch between the styles because some styles are more effective than others. Most of the time, honestly, I used Beast style for Kiryu and Slugger style for Majima. For me, for most bosses and for most fighting, I felt like that was the best option. So I really recommend the game. I'm playing Yakuza Kiwami right now, so I'm really eager to continue learning more about the story of these two. Although I can see that the story is more focused on Kiryu now. Majima just appears randomly. So don't forget, check out my Twitch channel and share your opinions. Tell me your favorite moments, your favorite characters. Tell me what you think about my thoughts, and of course, like this video if you like this content, share, subscribe, and if you want, suggest me other games that you think that I would like to try out. So, see you next time!